from him. If we've got press, the main plan comes to win inside. We love on quick timing to work our quickest releases, a quick jab step outside in order to win inside. Jab, reset your line. We would love for Jahan Dotson here to get a little bit more vertical. Jahan was one who always wanted to keep his body away from the DB's body. Jahan was not an elite lean and break guy, so Jahan gave himself a lot of room sometimes, and it was one of the coaching points we had to work with him on. But this is the essential element of when you got him off of your body, really it's just a hard one stick. There's no lean and break necessary. We went inside, we move him at the line, reset vertical, and run away on a nice flat angle so we don't get, all right? Race release is what we want him to be, okay? Dan Chisena was elite at this. All right, is a guy who really was not an everyday wide receiver for Penn State, but learned a lot of these fundamentals in practice and has made a little career for himself as a special teams guy and a practice player in the NFL, using that race release off of his just go speed footwork, driving on a little bit of an angle. And when we get to the top, if you can imagine, there might be a need to use a pass by on this. Bottom of our screen, race release slant is what we call it, off of the speed release footwork. We sell the go. You see that inside hand on pass by. This is a good habit to have. If this DB did extend his arm, we're in position to put our hand on his elbow. And when we do this sort of thing, guys, when we're working hand fighting consistently, what we find is that DBs tend to grab us less. Okay, so a nice race release coming up underneath. I'm trying to go quick through this now, but this is you guys, again, young route runner. Or young coaches who might not know this route runner by the name of Reggie Wayne or this corner by the name of Richard Sherman, right? This is a very clean win. It's only 3 steps, but he uses speed release footwork. He gets Richard Sherman's arms turned, and this is a great example of a pass by where the inside hand is striking elbow and below on the DB and creating a ton of momentum kind of this way for Richard Sherman here. All right, he comes out of it on a very high angle because that's how Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne like to do it. But this is a Hall of Famer winning on a race release slant against a real great one, okay? The element of physicality comes into it, right? We're in good shape here, okay? If they're over the top, this is an ODU all-timer, over the top of us and in position to relate to our route, right? Flat-footed man, this is when the definitive step comes in. This is an excellent example of a left foot that is totally believable as a change of direction, and the DB mirroring that footwork and jumping at the outcut, right? And when you watch this in real time, we push 1, 2, and we run away on a nice flat angle, okay? This motor definitive plan has come out for us at Penn State at the highest level in the whiteout, right? Little 1, 2 at the top with a nickel over the top of us on a quick 3-step slant. You see that we're really not worried about 3 steps worth of depth. Instead, we want to create separation and be on time, okay? Right? Runs away nice and flat. A really good one here. This will be a couple of the last ones, and then we'll open it up for questions. You see KJ Hamler in the slot at the bottom of our screen, right? Pushes, uses that 1, 2. Great DB against Ohio State, but he freezes his feet for a second. And when we got elite players at Penn State who can run away from angles, that's all we need to score a 90-plus yard touchdown in a big game that year against Ohio State. Okay? The last plan is if you got somebody who's super physical and wants to be a bully, maybe he's a little bit pissed off, or we're using some of the run game blocking and stuff like that, we have allowed our guys to seek contact, create contact. Literally, you can turn this into a stock block, push him off of our spot. Guys, this doesn't get called because it tends to occur within 5 yards. Drive him off your spot, break flat, and go separate. That was Michael Thomas doing it, right? This showed up mostly on one-on-ones for us at Penn State. But guys just being super physical and pushing the DB off